What's up, guys? All right, so in this video, we're going to be going over the new bid override table. You can see there's a lot of updates and new sections here you can expand. So in this video, I'm going to show you kind of from start to finish just how to populate the bid override table with targets and this extra data that you see in the different sections. So it's actually pretty quick if you know what you're doing, and I'm going to kind of start things from scratch. As you would kind of see from the new template. So everything's going to be pretty well blank here when you first get started. If you do have data in the sheet, you can always hit the delete use sheets, and that's going to remove any of that existing data that you were working with so you can populate it with fresh data. All right, so the reports that we're going to need are checked here. You can click this button here and watch the training for how to download each individual report. Some of these, like this one, the new targets report, you can actually use our Chrome extension. It's going to make things a lot faster. So yeah, just watch that video if you need help there. To quickly get to those reports, if you want to use the manage supplemental data operation here, you can basically tick the boxes down here and then just click on this button, and it's going to open you up to Amazon where you need to download those that is referenced in this other training video. I already have them all downloaded for the sake of time, and you can see here we've got our traffic report, we've got our new targets report, we've got our search query report that's got all of our ASINs in one file, and that's using our Chrome extension. So it's important you kind of watch and learn how to use that if you want to leverage that. It's a pretty powerful piece of data there. One thing you can do to quickly get your ASIN list for the search query report and the brand analytics, you need kind of all your ASINs to get that data. But there's a reference ASIN list here that gets populated. You would need to at least sync your bulk file at least one time for this to populate. But that's going to be coming from your sponsor products file. Alternatively, if you just need to get a list of ASINs, you can obviously get them from your Seller Central account. Just make a list and then you'll have those on hand. But part of kind of the process of getting ad tactics set up for premium like operation is getting the hang of how to quickly deploy these reports and get everything synced up so you can use it efficiently. We also do have a new scale assisted plan, shameless plug. If you want us to just do everything for you and maintain the tools, all the data management, we do that in-house now for our clients, so you can check that out on our website. But anyway, for this video, the core reports are ticked here, and once you have them saved to the ad tactics data new folder, and that's within your ad tactics directory within the FBX Sell Tools directory, this kind of folder structure gets set up automatically when you first authorize the ad tactics tool. But you can see there's name codes here, so BA, brand analytics, this is your search term impression share for brands, products, traffic, all of those correspond to kind of this little file name code section here. So download the report, save it to the right folder with the correct name, and then it's going to automatically get pulled in kind of on this next step. So once you've got your data, you've got your bulk file downloaded. I've already got that for the sake of this demo. So we're going to go and do the process now. So first step, we're going to import our bulk file. So here's my bulk file, insert new sheet, import data. All right, and once that data imports, you should see your tabs down here along the bottom. One thing I did not mention is when you do download your bulk file, you can click on that button there that I just did, and it's going to open this prompt so you can quickly go to your bulk operations. But you can see here the check boxes to tick. You want to make sure you don't select guidance for sponsored products. You can obviously pick whatever date range you want, and then to get the view that I have here with all of these tabs, the checkboxes you would want to check are shown right here. So you can see I've got my legacy sponsor brands data, my new multi-ad group sponsor brands data. I also have the search term reports for both products and brands checked. So that's how you can kind of get the same view and data set that I'm working with here. So step 2 is we're going to import all our supplemental data reports, and we've already got those saved. So all you need to do is come up here and click import. All right, you'll get a prompt, just hit yes, and you should start seeing these kind of come in the background. And if everything came in correctly, you should get a little status notification here with a check mark. If something does not look right and it says, there was an error, you just typically need to look in your Ad Tactics Data New folder and open up the file. Make sure you didn't accidentally download the wrong report. That's typically what happens. All right, so you can see the final step is going to be we're going to click this Sync All Data button. That's going to kind of tie all of our data together and allow us to do some more advanced operations. All right, so I'm going to hit OK and then just quickly hop up and click on the Sync All Data button. All right, and then this is kind of the last step in the import sync process. So here is the prompt you're going to get once all of the data has been synced. At least the first time you get all these prompts, make sure you read everything just because it does give you some helpful notes. If you are using the ranks tool, for example, you want to make sure you sync that as well. And that is basically our keyword rank tracking tool. It tracks the sponsored and organic rank placements. And we do have that kind of data showing up in this demo. So I'm going to go ahead and just paste that ranks URL in here, hop up, and I'm going to sync that. You can sync this kind of on demand anytime you want to pull in the most recent data. The ranks tool is going to automatically just run on its own. So to pull it into the FBXL tools, you just need to click the button. Now, if we go to our bulk files, you'll see they are set up for kind of anything we want to do. We've got our new bid column here. This is where when we optimize our bids, they get calculated and displayed. We've got our PPC metrics off here to the right. Our search term reports have some additional columns, are formatted really clean. So there's a lot of things we can do within Ad Tactics with these files. But the main purpose of this video is we're going to focus on populating the bid override table and just kind of evaluating some of these new sections that we've added. All right, so the easiest way to kind of get started with the best use case, in my opinion, for the bid override table, and that is focusing on kind of your best performing targets, working to scale those up, aggregate all of the Amazon-centric data in one place around those targets, is going to be to use this new feature called Add Pareto Targets to the bid override table. And if you hop over to the Settings tab, there's a checkbox here. I think by default it's probably set at like 20%. But you can set this at any percentage you want, and basically what it's going to do, depending on which tab you're in, it's going to quickly look at all of your enabled targets and say, okay, if I have this set at 20%, I'm going to move the targets that account for 20% of my orders, the uppermost 20%, over to the bid override table. So it's just a quick way to kind of manage the workflow there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just keep it at 20%. Click Add Pareto Targets to, actually, you know what? I'm going to put it at 50% just so we get a few more. Probably won't be a ton, so I'm just going to put 50 and come up here, Add Pareto Targets. All right, so you can kind of read the prompt there, hit yes. Okay, so hopping over to the bid override table now, at the bottom, you can see it's added 32 targets, and it actually tagged them for us automatically as a target type. So you can also add campaigns, portfolios, ASINs to the bid override table to view the metrics in different kind of segments of your account. This would be at the target level. So this actually allows us to set base bids for these targets once we kind of get everything populated. So because we already synced all of our data here in the early part of this video, then all we need to do is click this sync button, and it's going to essentially pull in all the data for these target overrides that we just assigned. So that's pretty much it. You can hit OK, and just buzzing down through here now, you can see here's our total PPC metrics at the target level. You've got a target sniper tool. This allows you to see daily PPC metrics for each target. You can watch this video here to learn how to do that. That's kind of out of the scope of this video. Brand analytics. So this is going to show you if that brand analytics report has this target in its data set, it's going to display here. And if your ASIN is colored, it'll show up here highlighted. So you can see the green, the blue. Those are all our ASINs, which is going to match right here. So you can see LOO, LOO, Q4R, Q4R. So that's how you can quickly see if your ASIN is in the top 3. All right, moving on, search query performance data. So there are a lot of useful data and sorting and filtering that can be done here. Two of the most popular are these columns, because this is going to tell you if you see a blue and a green, that means you're beating the market for both click-through rate and conversion rate. This example here, you're only beating it for click-through rate and not conversion rate. So based on those parameters, there's like a suggested action column here that provides kind of general guidance. But there's a lot of kind of different use cases and filter presets that you might deploy using this data side by side. Another good one to expand here is the impression share information. So you've got top of search impression share. This one actually comes from the targeting report, which is this new one here. That's using our Chrome extension. All right, and then you've got sponsored products and sponsored brands impression share. So some different slices of the performance and the visibility of these search terms across multiple different report types. So just kind of aggregating all the information here so you can make better decisions. One easy thing to do is just sort this A to Z. That's going to tell you the lowest top of search impression share. So if you start seeing really low impression shares for top of search and you have a lot better conversion rate and better click-through rate, that can be a really good one to put the pedal down on the spin and try to scale. I'm just going to hit Control Z there. So moving over, you've got some rank data here. This is just a filterable rank column for organic and sponsored. That's based on the ranks tracker data. So you've got that you can expand over here even further. All right, and the parameters up here, you see this is just the start date. You can actually toggle between organic and sponsored rank type. And then if you want to change just this column here, you can toggle that to a few different options just to kind of give you a collapsed summary view. All right, so outside of that, then you have total sales and tacos, and you can see if you hover over these headers, it gives you a lot more explanation on which one is which. But this tacos, it's maybe a little confusing because at the target level, it's actually taking your total ASIN sales, and that's actually from the traffic report that got pulled in here. So it's taking those and it's dividing in this case, the target level spend, which that shows up here. So got a lot going on. So target level spend divided by the total, that would be organic plus ad sales for that ASIN. So this is the ASIN sales, and that's related to the ASIN that's showing up in this column here. So the point is the total sales and tacos, this kind of tacos level data, that's only going to be seen and viewed if you have single ASIN structured campaigns. And that's when you put targets on the bid override table. There's another way, if you just want to see tacos data, you can come in and say you just want to monitor ASIN level data. And I can put a list. I'll actually just dump all my ASINs here. So if I come in and grab these, there might be some duplicates, so you got to be aware of that. So I'm just going to paste those. You can see they highlight if there's duplicates. So a quick way to remove the duplicates, you come up to data, cleanup, remove duplicates, and then you just click that. All right, so similarly, the Pareto function we ran automatically tagged these. We need to tag them all, this monitor ASIN, if we want to kind of see our ASIN level, our ASIN level tacos, and then all we need to do is resync it. And anytime you add something to the bid override table, it's good practice to just click that resync button and it'll pull in everything that you need to kind of analyze. All right, so there you go. You can see it populated the information that is applicable. I'm just going to collapse a little bit of this so we can read it a little bit better. And if coming down here now, you can see that this is giving us ASIN level sales for the total sales. And again, that's organic plus sponsored. And then this is going to give us the ASIN level now tacos. All right. And if you want to see the total tacos in your account, that's going to be up on this upper row that says account level. So you can see 5% tacos on 200,000 sales. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. You basically are looking at like different segments. Moving over now, we've got placement modifiers. So what's nice about kind of the bid override table is you can actually use it alongside all this data to edit critical target level bids. And you can do that with this blue column over here that we kind of bypassed. So what you can do is, just for the sake of this example, this red column is what we're currently bidding at the target level. So I'm just going to make like a little formula. So I'm going to click on that times 1.05. That would be like a 5% increase. So this becomes kind of a targeting dashboard you may be familiar with in Campaign Manager now. So we can, just like in there where you can edit the base bids, you can do that here as well. And you can set them to whatever you want. And then if you want to at any time set these bids as the base bids in your bulk files, which would be these red columns here, it's as easy as coming up and clicking the override bid function, and you can click any of these operations to override different layers of your account. Typically the override autopilot sponsored product bids, or override everything all at once. Those are the two most common. All right, and then now that we have, or we kind of understand what this blue column is, the placements is another kind of thing that can be fine-tuned. Keep in mind though, these are campaign level kind of levers. So if you have targets on here that are all in the same campaign, it's only going to apply the first set of placement modifiers coming from the top of the sheet down that you come to. And you can kind of see that data by expanding the placement level metrics here. This gives you the metrics of the campaign that these targets here are in, which again, you can view that if you click here, there's your campaign. So a lot of data kind of all in one place, and it takes a few times to kind of learn how to navigate around. But the idea is you've got all the data here, you've got all the levers you need to kind of steer these important targets in the right direction while really keeping a close eye on them as they run through track and rank, track and impression shares, stuff like that. So that's kind of the idea. Let me see if there's other stuff I didn't touch on. So this column here, this is going to be the bid preview. So you can see the first number matches, in this case, the 0.57. But you might ask, what's the 1.7 for? And in this case, it's because there's a 200% modifier. So if I untick this box, you can see that just drops back down to my base bid. But if I check it, it gives me this range. All right. And another thing you can do in the bid override table is you can do kind of quick inline edits. So if I wanted to, for this campaign, put a dynamic up down for whatever reason, you can see I can tick that. It automatically adjusted this bid preview to 3.4 instead of, I think it was 1.7 before. And if I would want to kind of bulk update my bid strategies for these important targets, you come in here under fine tuning, and you can see you can do budgets, you can do bid strategies, and you can do modifiers. So you can not only do this, but you can do these, and you can do your campaign budgets here. So similar concept. All right, so a few other things here before we sign off. The columns over here on the far left, that's going to tell you if when you first import your bulk file, there's a few columns that if you've got some products that are out of stock. In this case, yeah, it looks like these were out of stock. There's a few different reasons why your products may be ineligible for ads, but this is just kind of a quick notification. You can click on this column to get more information there. So this column here, this will only display if you put in sponsored brand overrides, and you've got the override on both the legacy brand sheet, which is this one down here, and the multi-ad group brand sheet. So depending on when you launched your sponsor brands campaigns, you may have some overlap between the two sheets. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right. And then Other than that, the legacy bidding, that's for kind of our old school ad tactics users. There's a method that you can kind of use this to run it's a pretty fixed formula that it's locked in, where we now have the autopilot tool that allows you to fully customize all your bid rules. So that's not as widely used, so I won't really cover that in this video. And then I touched on the ranks tracker here with the settings that you input here, and those are all kind of handled behind the scenes. You don't really have to do anything to keep your ranks data updated. The only thing would be if you want to add more keywords to your ranks tracker, you just hop into that tool, which the link will always be here if you're using it. You can hop into it, and then here's your ASIN list. The ASIN list is kind of independent from your keyword list. They don't go side by side. So you just dump all the ASINs in that you're concerned with tracking, and then all the keywords you're concerned with tracking in this column, and you just hit the green button and you're kind of off to the races. And then again, like we covered earlier, there's just this on-demand sync button here that will update the ranks data in various places within ad tactics. So that pretty much covers what I wanted to in this video, and I hope you find a lot of use out of the bid override table. We've got a lot of users doing really cool things. Like one example is you can download the Excel, and I think it works with CSV as well, just this sheet, and kind of expand all of the information, and then dump that into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT based on this information what insights they can gather. And it's just pretty interesting to kind of do stuff like that and see where you can take it. So, all right, guys, I will see you on the next video. Cheers.